AUB or Asian United Bank Corporation has gone up massively in previous years. Ang tanong, bakit? That is the subject for today's TRFM. Before the fact. So while karamihan sa retail investor, they always search for news, catalyst kuno, na magdadrive ng stock price, mga speculations, kuro-kuro, blah blah blah. Ako, I always refer to the company's fundamentals and valuation. Kasi I believe yun yung driving factor bakit umaangat yung isang stock price in the long term. And if you want to follow company's fundamentals and valuations with me using my personal opinion, personal analysis, check the pinned comment. So on recent years, gumawa ng bull run ang at least sa kanilang earnings na nire-report. Yung mga bangko, no? Karoon sila ng maganda-gandang economic environment to grow simply because of high interest rate environment. And one of the bank na nakapag-capitalize ng ganong klase ng environment is AUB, and in fact, AUB is the fastest growing bank in recent years. Hindi nyo alam. And AUB, if mag-continue yung growth niya this year, I think pwede siyang ipasok sa mid-cap by next rebalancing. Di ba? Kasi sa ngayon, nasa na siya? 49 billion in market cap. And okay naman yung kanyang free float, no? 33%. And hindi lang yon, no? Ang kanyang earnings potential as of 2024 is 11.3 billion and still growing siya ng first quarter, di ba? Ngayon, you compare it with other banks na nasa mid-cap. So sa mid-cap nandoon si SecB, Security Bank. Laging nire-recommend ng mga broker. So gawa siya ng rally last year pero nag-collapse lang din. Hindi sustainable yung kanyang rally kasi nga hindi maganda fundamentals nito. So market cap of 49 billion, so almost similar. While yes, similar sila in market cap pero in terms of earnings potential, di ba? 11.2, 2.8, so mas malakas yung earnings potential ng SecB sa ngayon. So si Security Bank pa lang pwede niya na tong actually palitan. Okay. Meanwhile, pag PNB naman, 79 billion in market cap. Mataas na earnings potential nito, so 21. Okay, so ang pwede niyang palitan actually SecB, no? Depende siguro yung takbo ng dalawang company this year. So kung talagang mas mag-grow ng mas matindi ang AUB, kunyari ma-replicate niya to, no? 3 billion per quarter, 3, 6, 9, 12 billion, di ba? I think kaya na niyang palitan si Security Bank. And kapag napunta siya sa mid-cap, mas may expose siya sa madaming investor. No, mas makapag-attract siya ng additional liquidity, additional volume, additional trading participant, di ba? Kasi dati nung inanalyze ko to, yung kasi liquid namin bibili niya liquid. Nung nandito siya, no? So, kinaka-cover ko to dati on my channel and ang common na sinasabi, ano yan? Unknown. Unknown stock. Illiquid naman kasi yan Paano pag trade namin yun pag magsisell na kami? Di ba? Kami magbebenta. Blah, blah, blah. You know, all of these common clownery na pinagagawa ng mga retail investor in the stock market. Ewan kung saan nila natutunan yung mga ganong klase ng mentality, mindset, blah blah blah. So dahil isa sa mga naging fastest growing bank on recent years, nag-appreciate yung kanyang stock price kasi nag-improve yung kanyang intrinsic value based on my personal analysis. So AUB nag-generate now ng one pager ko dyan as early as September of 2022 na nandito lang siya dati, no? Na eto gumawa to ng stock dividends, no? 50% around 2023. So lahat ng valuation ko before 2023, kailangan ko siyang i-adjust. So dati nagtitrade lang siya around 30 pesos, and ang valuation ko na sa kanya is 69.83. Nakapag in-adjust ko yan, 69 divided by 1.5. So ang valuation ko sa kanya dati is 46 pesos. Na 30, 46 nandito ba yan, di ba? So technically, ano siya dati, undervalued. 40s, baka dyan nga siya nag-IPO dati, di ba? Noong 2013. Problema, yung mabumili nung 2013, di gumagawa ng analysis siguro, kaya naipit. Kasi for sure, yung earnings potential niya dati is, is weaker compared sa kanyang yung kanyang nire-record ngayon, 'di ba, on recent years. Meanwhile, kapag continuous yung growth niya, 90 pesos, 90 divided by 1.5, so 60 pesos, that would be its all time. Ayun, di ba? Kita niyo yun? Kung saan siya nagdidip, kung saan siya gumagawa ng support, blah blah blah, before the fact. No, kalupit. Joke lang. Okay? Chamba lang. Chamba. Alam niyo naman sa channel ko, madalas akong chumachamba eh. And then, 2023, continuous talaga yung growth ng business na to eh. Makikita nyo dito, book value is growing, net income is growing, asset is growing. And syempre, nag-improve na naman yung aking bargain price because of that. So, 67 divided by 1.5. So, 44 pesos. So, December of 2023. December of 2023, nandito siya dati, So, still, nandun pa rin siya sa around 30 pesos na price range. And still, nandito pa rin yung aking, bargain price, Pag continuous yung growth niya, 99 divided by 1.5. So, 66 pesos. 66 pesos dito, still kung saan siya, di ba? Kung saan siya gumagawa ng support ngayon. Uy! So as early as December 2023, talagang meron na siya undervalued business na potential opportunity. And dahil continuous yung growth ng business na to, so 70 divided by 1.5, 46, almost similar, blah blah blah. First quarter of na pala to, 2024, nakalimutan kong palitan yung nandun. So eto, wala na pala tong adjustment, okay? And in-adjust ko na rin yung shares outstanding niya rito. Factoring yung yung stock dividends niya. So ayan, 0.48 dati, ngayon 0.727. So first quarter of 2024, dito siya dati 38. Pero, ayun di ba? Bargain price ko 70. Kung nandiyan siya ngayon, gumagawa ng support, Eh kapag continuous yung growth niya, 86, di ba? That would be its all-time high. And, kapag talagang mas tumindi ba yung growth niya, 96 pesos. So 86 dito and 96 dito, grabe na yan, 42% additional upside pa. Pero yan, first quarter of 2024 yan, Brad, 8.57 billion in trailing 12 month. Nagtapos nga siya ng 2024, di ba? Ng 11.3, tapos first quarter of 2025, 3. Di nag-improve na naman yung ko dito. Intrinsic value ko dito. And if you want to follow my fundamentals and valuation analysis latest for this company, check the pinned comment. So ito yung latest financial report ng business na to. And makita nyo rito, diba? Andun pa rin yung momentum niya eh. So interest income is still there. Na-maintain niya pa rin despite unti-unti bumababa ng bumababa yung yung prevailing interest rate, 5.1, 5.6. Net interest income, di ba? Still increasing. And then, dito rin sila, magaling in recent years, yung kanilang, other operating income from 700, naging 1.2 billion. Trading and securities gain, growing. Service charges, fees and commission, growing. Lot growing, Foreign exchange gain, growing. Trust income, growing. Miscellaneous, growing. Diba? Therefore, yung net income nila is growing. Ang tanong, masusustain kaya yung kanilang momentum? Pero kahit mag-flat sila this year diba? Sa sobrang undervalued nila for me, medyo malalaki yung margin of safety ng aking valuation dito. So, gross interest income increased by 9%. Interest income from loans and receivable increased by 25%, no? Interest income from trading investment, 26%. Grabe, talagang kumukubra sila In total, net interest income increased by 8%. Translate to a net interest margin ratio of 5.09% as of the first quarter 25 versus 5.16. So, bumababa na a little bit kasi nga bumababa na yung interest rate. Na yun yung magiging trajectory ng madaming bangko in the coming quarters. Kaya kailangan nilang bumawi on other yung pinagkakakitaan nila, like eto yung other operating incomes ng mga businesses, blah blah blah. Na for AUB so far, nag-grow pa namin siya. Si AUB so far on that section nag-grow pa rin siya, di ba? AUB's other operating income increased by 81%. Grabe, no? Trading and securities gain increased by 381%. Service charges, fees and commission, ito yung I think magiging common. Nagawa ng adjustment siguro yung mga bangko. Pangalingan sila rito. So increase by 27%. Foreign exchange gain 59% increase. Trust income 57%. Ito rin yung mga trust income, miscellaneous income. In the coming quarters, pakalingan sila dyan na kumubra ng profits. Para i-offset kung let's say mag-slow down man yung kanilang magiging mga net interest income. And ito yung pinakamalupit diyan, 'di ba? So to summarize, the group saw its consolidated net income jump 34%. Blah, grabe. Translated to a return on equity of 22.3. This is the biggest ROE in the banking sector sa ngayon na nakita ko, even bigger than BDO tsaka China Bank. Dati ang pinamataas siguro noong 2023 ang pinamataas dati is BDO tsaka China Bank. Sa ngayon, grabe to, 22.3. Ang malupitan talaga yan. And then ito yung statement of condition ng bangko, and very attractive din yung condition ng bangko na to. Kasi yung kanyang asset quality, di ba? Gumagawa na nga siya strong growth momentum. Yung kanyang NPL is also very low. In fact, mas bumababa pa nga siya from 1.38 naging 1.3. And a cover, di ba? Gross NPL cover of 121%. One of the best I've seen in the banking sector, di ba? So, etong company na to, di pa nagde-declare ng dividend pero for sure magtataas ulit to di ba? For the period of 2025. Sa laki ng growth nila last year from 8.2 naging 11.3, tapos nag-grow ulit sila ng first quarter. I think mag-increase ulit ito ng dividend, and I wouldn't be surprised kung may kadikit na special dividend, di ba? Malay mo. And I think ayun lang. So the question now is whether mag-continue yung growth momentum ng business na to. Kung mag-report to ng maganda-gandang second quarter, I think mag-all time ay ulit to, Feeling ko i-break nyo ulit yung 80 niya, blah blah blah. Ang mapapansin nyo is a very silent na bangko. Wala siyang press release, blah blah blah. Wala kang makikitang news article, just pure growth in fundamentals. Therefore, nag-improve yung kanyang intrinsic value year over year. Wala siyang yung mga haka-haka, kuro-kuro, ganun. Kasi yung mga investor na gano'n, naghahanap ng mga material news, mga speculation, speculative story, kuro-kuro, haka-haka sa kanilang mga investment, mga amateur na mga investor, mga pul-pul, mga walang ka-idea what long-term investing is.